Greetings viewers, if you click the video link, you're here to listen to me talk about kids in regards to gun safety. Before we get into it, I want to just share a meme with you that I thought was pretty funny. So now to the topic at hand. So the NRA and their Eddie Eagle program, their lesson for kids is to stop, don't touch, run away, find a grown-up. Well, from an organization that is supposed to be all about gun rights and gun ownership and gun safety, just simply telling somebody, don't look at it, don't touch it, run away, go find somebody else that may or may not have the answers. And in some instances, depending on the lifestyle that kids grow up in, I know several children that have better gun handling and gun safety skills than some adults. So again, I'm a little bit kind of disappointed in the NRA's approach to this. I get it, and that may work for kids up to a certain age, and that's fine. And also, as if you're a parent and it's your kid, obviously you decide what you want to do. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. So teaching kids about gun safety and simply not just telling them, hey, don't look at it, don't touch it, get away from it, it doesn't really answer all their questions that they may have. Kids are curious creatures by nature. They want to ask why about everything. They want to touch everything. They want to taste and smell and feel. Like they just want to get into everything because they're curious. They don't have a lot of knowledge about things. And if they don't get that knowledge from you, the places that they're going to get it from are TVs, movies, video games, social media, and probably their friends at school that may only have a partial amount of knowledge in the subject, but they're touting it as though they are experts. I also know some adults that do this about a lot of things, but we'll stay within the scope of the video here. So teaching kids about gun safety, rather than just telling them, again, don't look at it, don't touch it, you kind of satiate that curiosity and you take away that the mystery behind it, which is kind of that driving force that causes them, again, to want to touch and see and feel. I know everybody doesn't have the ability to take their kid to the range every weekend. Not everybody can just go out in their backyard and just shoot some cans off the fence post. We don't all have the same lifestyles, and I get it. But at a minimum, I feel like at least allowing children to see a gun and touch it and understand that it's not a toy and that it can hurt somebody and how to safely operate or manipulate that weapon could actually come in handy one day and might actually save somebody or even your kid's life. So I like to think of scenarios that haven't happened yet and not just plan and copy things that have already happened and base my life decisions off of that. So just imagine, if you will, some kid brings a gun to school and wants to show it off to their friends. They're not doing anything malicious. They're not there to shoot the school up, but they just made a poor decision and they may not have good, responsible gun handling skills. They don't know if the gun that they brought is loaded or not, or how it operates, or if there's even a safety on it. And the possibility that your kid may know how to operate a firearm or know about gun safety may be the difference between having an accident for something that, again, in that kid's mind may have been an innocent thing. They just wanted to be cool and bring something neat and show their friends, and it could turn into a disaster. And the fact that your kid is able to potentially step in and avert said disaster could be a big deal, because again, maybe the teacher doesn't know anything about firearms or the principal, and they've got to call the resource officer or deputy to come and fix the problem. Well, in that time, the problem could have already been fixed, and then you can deal with the administrative issues afterwards. So my recommendation in terms of children and guns would be to expose them to them. You don't have to force it on them and make them like guns and shooting. Perhaps that's not something they're going to want to do, but giving them some sort of base knowledge and proper weapon handling and making sure it's not pointed at people and keeping your finger off the trigger, that kind of stuff's important. And if you're not told that, you don't know any better. I know a lot of people, again, adults included. I did work part-time at a gun shop for quite some time, and there were many adults that would ask to see a pistol. So obviously, as the employee, you make sure it's clear and safe first prior to handing it to them. And the very first thing they do, as soon as you hand it to them, their finger goes on the trigger. It's just, again, somebody that doesn't have that gun knowledge is not going to have those skills built in. If you start them young with that sort of thing and they build up their skills a little bit, then by the time they're an adult, those things are ingrained in them so much it becomes habit. Much like when I pick up a staple gun or a squirt gun or a Nerf gun, my finger instantly is indexed so that it's not on the trigger, and that's just something I can't even help now if I wanted to. So little things like that can go a long way. Again, take that mystery out of it. If their only exposure to a gun is playing Fortnite or Call of Duty, or again, something that their friend told them because their brother's friend had a gun and knew a little something about it, that doesn't give them that actual good factual knowledge, and it doesn't give them those safety skills that may be needed for handling a weapon. Obviously, number one, keeping them locked up and out of sight. I understand every kid's different. Back in the day, well before my time, children used to ride to school on a bicycle with a .22 and shoot dinner on the way home. So those days are obviously long gone. A lot of schools used to have shooting clubs as well. I know that there may be some still now that do that. However, for the most part, that has kind of dried up. So younger and younger generations aren't getting those skills, again, unless they're raised in a house where guns are prevalent, and you do start your kids early on that sort of thing, even if you're not a gun-toting household. So again, take that mystery out of it for them and let them be curious. Let them touch, feel, understand that, again, it's not a toy, that it's not okay to point it at things that it's not intended to be pointed at, that you need to keep your finger off the trigger so that there doesn't happen to be an accident. When it is okay and when it's not okay to touch a gun. I know a lot of people like to keep a gun near the nightstand or the bed for when things go bump in the night. However, if guns are left out and curious children get a hold of it and they don't know what they're doing, or they haven't been instructed otherwise other than to just don't look, don't touch, run away, they're going to try and get the information themselves since it was not provided to them. So number one, obviously keep your guns locked up when they are not within your immediate control or possession. Even giving kids knowledge and making sure they understand safety and when they can and can't touch guns doesn't mean that a couple of them aren't going to squeak through the cracks and try and get their own hands-on experience with it. So we definitely want to avoid any sort of accidents in that realm. So again, the physical security of the firearms is important. I do have another video on that applies again to adults, children, bad guys, good guys. Lock your stuff up. Again, for keeping it off the streets and out of the hands of people that don't need it, but also out of the hands of curious children that could potentially cause an accident. And then again, like I said, just taking that curiosity away and giving them good, actual, factual knowledge on safety, proper handling. And then just as they get older, again, different kids mature differently for their age. So you may have a younger child that's able to handle guns and an older one that's not, because maybe they've got some stuff going on that you don't feel comfortable with. And again, as a parent, that's completely your decision, obviously, but my recommendation would be to start as early as possible, exposing them to the man behind the curtain so that they get, again, that good knowledge and that good base to start from, so that as they get older, if they do decide they want to get into guns, they've already got a head start from, at least in my situation, where I started from and where many other people that I know did as well. So not a very long video today. I do want to thank my girlfriend and her children for appearing in the video. Make sure you go down in the comments down below and let her know how beautiful she is. She doesn't believe me. She didn't want to appear on camera, but reluctantly she obliged and helped me out. So if you guys have any questions, if you feel like I didn't cover anything, or there's some input or feedback that you have in regards to this topic or any other topic, or a topic of a future video that you'd like to see me cover, just let me know down below. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel the need to do. I'm always open to constructive criticism or feedback. If you think I could do something to make my videos better for you, just let me have it. If you think it sucks, that's fine, but tell me how I can make it not suck. That would benefit you and me and everybody else. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.